Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your Judgment card, right? Your key to the week, to unlocking the week. Judgment is all about the blast from the past. We are currently in the retrogradia season. Retrogradia is a word that I came up with in 2018, when that year where we had like 5 or 6 planets retrograde, and everybody was just like, I can't cope. And you know, I've kind of coined that phrase from now on. Whenever there's like 4 or more planets retrograde, that's retrogradia. This card for me has a very, very retrograde energy to it. It tends to bring you a blast from the past, somebody that comes back into your life, some opportunity. Sometimes it can be a second chance. Sometimes it can be an opportunity to align with someone or something again, you know, to do again. Very often though, the Judgment card brings you massive change, but you can only really ever really move forward when you have truly laid the past to rest. And that tends to be why the retrograde energy or the Judgment card energy will bring something back up, so that you can examine it, what did work, what didn't work, you know, what the deciding factors were, and then you can assimilate that knowledge and then finally move forward. And so for that reason, it's a really powerful card of change, and it's a beautiful card of change. This is infusing your entire week. So if you find that things, people, places keep popping into your mind from the past, retrogradia. Your actions and options, you have the Ace of Cups. Taurus, I'm just going to call it as I see it, right? This is going to be a very sexy and sensual week for you. So for those of you that are partnered, it looks like you guys are going to be spending a lot of time together, you know, in those sort of tristy energies. And you might find that you are, you know, maybe you're extra horny this week. Maybe you just have that sort of need to connect to your partner if you are partnered, you know, or if you're talking to somebody, you just might find that you're a bit more frisky this week. The other thing is as well, your actions and options, it's about what you do, right? It's about the steps that you take. And the Ace of Cups is about love. It's about seeking connection, but it's also about fulfilling wishes. And it looks like you are really asking yourself, how can I fulfill other people's needs and wishes? And how can I fulfill my own? This is a week where you are just brimming and overflowing with that energy of creation and also sensuality, which is always a nice thing. For communications and conversations, you have the Chariot. Things are speeding up for you, for the people that you know, for the people around you. I'm thinking of one person who has a very heavy Taurus influence in their chart at the moment, and I'm smiling because I'm like, yes! This is great. You're getting some really good news this week about something that you've either put together or maybe something that you put the feelers out on. This is something that you've been working on behind the scenes. It may be something that is now starting to finally give you results. So this is about you getting wind of, maybe somebody sharing that news with you to say, look, you know, this thing that you've done, it's now starting to pay off. This thing that you created, it's now starting to yield results, which is really, really nice. I mean, the Chariot card as well does suggest that this week will very likely be a very fast week when it comes to communications. My biggest piece of advice with so much retrograde energy taking place, before you hit send, I don't care whether it's a text message or WhatsApp message, an email, before you hit send, reread what you have written. You know, typos, you know, maybe you were talking to one person and you started answering them and actually you're talking about your boss. You know, and it could just one of those weeks. So really pay attention, because you're going to be communicating really fast this week. The pace of things is going to speed up, which is fantastic. But at the same time, you might, in your absent-mindedness, you know, fire off the wrong email to the wrong person, etc., etc. For your money and materials, you have the Knight of Cups. it just gets better and better. This is a fantastic week for you. Your Knight of Cups is offers and opportunities, but these are ones that can get you ahead, right? So wishes fulfilled, Chariot card, victory and success, the Knight of Cups here as well. I've also got a Cancerian person here, so this very likely to be a young person. And when I say young person, I mean anyone from sort of 16 up until about the age of 23, you know, in between that bracket. You could be communicating with somebody, you know, maybe this is about their child, you know, maybe well, I say their child, they're acting up or they're acting out or they're a bit unruly. There's something going on there, and it might be that someone's calling on you, or maybe you're calling on someone to say, look, can you have a word with them, because whatever I'm saying is falling on deaf ears. So that's one aspect of this. On the money and material side, whatever news is coming to you this week, it has a very powerful financial draw to it, which means that your money and materials is going to expand this week. It does look like finances and money are going to, it looks like you're getting some really good news or some sort of an offer that is going to make your finances really start to grow abundantly. Now, because you've got the Chariot here in close proximity, another thing that I will say to you, when it comes to your physical health, this will probably be a really good week for you to meal plan. The reason being is because you might be so busy that you don't have time to eat, and then when you finally do, you just end up binging on, you know, God knows what. So pay attention to that this week. For your love and romance, you have the King of Pentacles, right? So this is lovely. An earth sign male, Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo, features for you in some way, shape or form. Now, remember, we talked about this sort of sensual, sexual energy that's coming up for you, you feeling extra frisky. The King of Pentacles here with the love and romance. Yeah, I mean, you could be really in your element. For those of you that are partnered, this could be an amazing week for that kind of energy where you just feel really connected, you know, on a really deep level when, you know, especially when you're in the bedroom. For those of you that are partnered, this is about you finding somebody that really seems to get the things that you're about. This is about you aligning with somebody. So probably likely to be over the airways, yes, for a lot of people. But it does look like this is somebody that you kind of look at and think, you know what, yeah, we might not be the same person, but I could get with you. And the reason being is because we meet on a practical level. It makes sense. We understand what each other's physical, tangible needs are. And more importantly, I'm okay with wanting to meet those. Not necessarily just about finance. This could be about, you know, what you want from life, where you feel like you're going, how your careers interact. It's nice. It's just really, really nice. This is a great week for you guys. It's a very watery week. I mean, luckily you've got the King of Pentacles there to give it a bit more grounding and a bit more earth. But yeah, you could just be kind of enamored for life this week. And then remember, your Judgment card is kind of infusing all of that. So it's kind of, you know, this Ace of Cups, your blast from the past. For some of you, this could be about an ex. It could be about an old wish that comes off the back burner. With your Chariot card, this is, you know, some sort of, maybe this is a success or a victory on something that you thought had kind of gone nowhere. Maybe you did all the work for it and it just never came off. With your money and materials, maybe a second chance or an old employer, an old friend, you know, somebody comes back to give you an opportunity or tell you about something and you think, oh yeah, you know what, I've got something that could be really good for that. And then here with your love and romance with the King of Pentacles, for those of you that are partnered, you're reigniting your passion. For those of you that are single, you're aligning with somebody that kind of feels really good. My advice to you is, remember, Venus is currently retrograde. She is now actually retrograde, which means you're not necessarily getting the full picture, but equally, you might not be giving the whole picture either. So remember, this kind of is a sliding scale, right? It works both ways. So just be sure to make sure that you are giving, you know, honesty and truth and above board, and make sure that you're getting that in return. Take it easy so that when things go, when the retrograde ends come June 25th, it's actually the 26th because it will be stationary on the 25th. So when it goes direct on the 26th, that's when you'll start to see, okay, yes, is this just an infatuation based on lustful likings and all the rest of it, or does there, you know, is there some weight to it? Which it kind of feels like there is, because it's the King of Pentacles, right, which is all about grounding and stability and foundation. So with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.